Welcome to CMC, and we start our briefing on general update on the OSCE SMM activity and the security situation in Ukraine. And our speaker is Mr. Alexander Haag, Deputy Chief Monitor of the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission in Ukraine. Mr. Haag, the floor is yours. Доброго дня. Дякую за виявлену зацікавленість роботою моніторингової місії ОБСЄ в Україні. Дозвольте мені поінформувати про новини щодо змін в безпековій гуманітарній ситуації, як зареєстрували наші спостерігачі. Порівняно з останнім тижнем ситуація не сильно змінилася. Коли ми звітували про значне зменшення в кількості порушень перемир'я в Донецькій і Луганських регіонах. В ті дні, коли були такі порушення, вони реєструвалися переважно довкола Донецького аеропорту. Там кількість вибухів коливалася довкола 110 вибухів 8 вересня до 1-12 вересня. В деякі дні, згідно з інформацією спільного координаційного центру та так званої ДПР, деякі вибухи були наслідком контрольованих підривів невибухнулих снарядів, і СММ не змогла незалежно перевірити таку інформацію. СММ продовжує спостерігати і отримувати звіт.
Light weapons in the area of the Donetsk airport and Horlivka. The area in and around Mariupol, including Shirokine, was generally calm. Despite some ceasefire violations in the Luhansk region, the scale of violence there was nearby zero. Although tensions remain, we welcome the ability of the sides to largely observe the ceasefire for 2 consecutive weeks. Still, with larger concentrations of weaponry, including in or near populated areas, we maintain a sense of cautious optimism and hope that the sides will exercise good judgment and the political will to bring an end to the conflict. We observed military movement, much of it away from the contact line, in government-controlled areas in particular. This was observed to a greater scale in the Donetsk region, in particular in Artimove, Kirove, Drushpa, and near Ulakli. Weapons, including main battle tanks, were being moved west. The SMM didn't observe a parallel movement of the same scale in areas controlled by the so-called DPR. Meanwhile, the SMM did observe heavy weapons in the area of Horlivka. The SMM continued its regular monitoring of heavy weapon holding areas and found weapons missing on both sides. In addition, we were denied access to certain areas, and to some areas that we went were abandoned altogether. I would like to reinforce here that as long as the weapons remain near the contact line, there is a risk that fighting can be resumed at any moment. Last week, the Chief Monitor, Ambassador Apakan, and the OSCE Secretary General Lamberto Sanier visited southern Donetsk region to assess the security and humanitarian situation there. The Secretary General Sanier publicly welcomed the recent holding ceasefire, and he expressed hope for progress on the political level to end the fighting. Dear friends, just this morning I returned from Minsk. There, the chief monitor and myself continue to work in the security working group of the Trilateral Contact Group. The SMM continues to serve as coordinator in this group. During this tense meeting, the talks concentrated on the procedures for the withdrawal of tanks, artillery system up to 100 mm in caliber, and mortars up to and including 120 mm. Participants have not yet reached agreement. Fewer ceasefire violations allowed the SMM to focus more on monitoring of the humanitarian situation. It is important to continue to highlight the impact of the conflict on the people living along the contact line. Those who continue to suffer conflict-inflicted hardships such as freedom of movement, access to public services and supplies, as well as difficulties in preparing for the upcoming winter. The SMM continued to observe long queues at checkpoints leading in and out of government to non-government controlled areas. On 12 September, for example, in government-controlled Zaitsewe, we saw 331 civilian cars waiting to cross into government-controlled areas, and even more, the other side, some people complained that they had been waiting for 6 to 8 hours. In Piski, remaining there despite the complicated humanitarian conditions, said they rely on food and sometimes drinking water from the soldiers there. According to them, the last time they received their pension was in August 2014. To the northeast in Chorlivka, the main city hospital still lacks medicine, supplies and food. In Donetsk city, the administration of the Kuybishevsky district, one of the most affected areas in the town, told the SMM that the number of residents has dropped from 120,000 before the conflict to 80,000. Over 9,000 are dependent on aid, they said. In government-controlled Bilovdovsk, a district of 24,000 inhabitants in the Luhansk region, the local administration told the SMM that there are 35,000 registered IDPs in that town. On the other hand, the SMM started to receive reports that people are returning to their houses in government-controlled Trochispenka, according to the civil-military administration there. Still, the lack of gas for heating remains a concern for the village before the upcoming winter. Also, despite the fact that most schools close to the contact line, including those damaged by shelling, were repaired and opened, the number of students in many locations has significantly decreased. In government-controlled Bobasna, for example, the principal of the school number 24 told the SMM that the school had registered only half as many students as in the previous year. On the contrary, farther from the contact line, for example in Sviatokhirsk, the number of pupils have increased due to the large numbers of IDPs in that town. Landmines and unexploded ordnance remained a serious concern. In government-controlled Volnovakha, for example, the deputy head of the emergency service told the SMM that 30% of the district was contaminated with mines and unexploded ordnance. He expressed particular concern about government-controlled Novotroyske and Mykolaiivka and Starokhnaktivka and Andriivka. According to him, 8 or 9 people have suffered injuries in booby trap incidents near government-controlled Berezove over the last 3 months. In government-controlled Bolotene, residents told SMM the area around the village is mined and booby-trapped, making it impossible for them to collect firewood. I would like to mention here, dear friends, that this coming Friday we are presenting our latest thematic report of the SMM titled Access to Water in Conflict-Affected Areas of Donetsk and Luhansk region. It examines the negative impact of the conflict on access to water and SMM's effort to facilitate ceasefire to allow for the repairs to provide conflict-affected civilians with sufficient, safe, acceptable and affordable water. You're most welcome to attend these presentations. Finally, as usual, I would like to update you on the mission numbers as they stand this week. The SMM has a total of 860 mission members, of them 533 monitors, 69 other international staff, and 258 Ukrainian colleagues. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Чи є запитання або уточнення? Any questions or clarifications? There are no questions. Thank you very much for your briefing. На цьому, шановні колеги, будемо завершувати робочий день. Дякую і до побачення.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues, and see you again.